Hello, good morning, Borida. Guten Morgen, as they say in Spain, and Bon Matin, as they say in America. Multilingual talents once again shining through. As I say, welcome to this bloody battle tournament. It is a 4-star bloody battle. Healing and resurrection have no effect. I'm playing on my new phone, which is instantly why occasionally this screen save comes on if I'm not doing anything. So I just need to keep my thumb moving around it to keep it engaged. I am also out walking my dogs, so if it sounds like I'm doing some sinister deep breathing, it is because I'm walking up the hill, but I wanted to multitask, and that's where I'm going. So here we are. You'll see at least now I'm in a different alliance as well. I've temporarily joined an alliance called Drunken Monkey. It's kind of an exchange program that I have going with my main alliance, Pinky and the Brain. So different players are sort of swapping over. Gives us a chance to get to know some new people, which is really nice. Anyway, moving straight on, what I'm going to be doing, hopefully, is filming all 4 days of the raid tournament, posting them all one by one. Should be easy today and tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday will be a bit harder, mainly because of real life stuff, just work and things getting in the way. But we'll see how we get on with that. Anyway, I may not even make it that far, so that could be embarrassing. I'm just looking at this team that I'm up against here. I have got, now to me, I'm going to be honest, Maxus67 appears to have made a mistake and missed one of the main points of this tournament, insofar as they have taken 2 healers when healers can't do anything. I wouldn't advocate that. If you need a debuffer, I would go with Sonya or Cademon, if you have them. If you need a booster, well, the booster is tricky because Bold Tusk is a good booster, so that could come in handy. The other heroes he has are slow. I am going to go for, I've been umming and ahhing about this for a moment because I did have a quick look at this earlier on. I'm going to go Wilbur, I think, boost the defense. So 2 reds, 2 yellows, and 1 blue. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. Booster, weakener, booster. Maybe swap Gormek for. Do I need Gormek? Or be better off with Khalil? Possibly better off with Khalil for this one. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how we go. Anyway, so I've got 2 yellows, obviously, to stack against their central tank of Sabina. Sabina is no real threat to me. I mean, she's just going to die anyhow. 2 reds to sort of boost me against the 2 greens either side of her. 1 blue against the other red, although, to be fair, not strictly necessary, and I could go with green or whatever, but, reasonably strong against everyone. Fingers crossed. Let's see how we go. First raid. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, straight away in with a screen with loads of purples on it, but that's not the end of the world. There we go, yellows into Sabina. Sabina's gone. So like I say, to me, Sabina was a big mistake in this raid tournament. I would not have taken her. But there you go. That would be my advice. If you're in a bloodbath, a bloody battle tournament, don't take healers. Full stop. Just leave them out. They may have an extra skill, like I said. Bold Tusk is a booster as well as a healer, but that isn't really going to make up for the fact that their primary skill, which is healing, is not going to happen. That is my opinion. Other players may think differently, and they are entitled to said opinion. But I would literally just not bother with your main healers for bloody battle tournaments. So this is obviously going to be a win. Reassuringly, it's always frustrating and scary when you start bad-mouthing somebody's team. And I don't know, bad-mouthing is necessarily what I mean. I'm just being, constructively critical. They could have just chosen better heroes there. Obviously, I don't know who they have in their roster and whatnot, but Bold Tusk and Sabina really are just dead weight. Bold Tusk is at least better than Sabina insofar as he's a booster, and that does make quite a difference, but Sabina really couldn't offer very much there at all. Anyway, moving on. Next battle. Still in the bottom 25% officially. Now this one, now I was worried about this guy. Kolen in the centre. Now Kolen is a very good tank for this kind of thing. If he goes off, I have basically lost, which is quite concerning, really. Not a huge amount I can do. I'm going to go with Grim over Valeria. Or at least, do I go with Valeria? Valeria's got some quite good things. I mean, she can't heal herself, obviously, because that doesn't happen. 150 over 5 turns would be quite good. So I'm going to go with Valeria. Go for that. So I'm going to want to make sure Colen dies fairly quickly. If I go with Wukong, I could also go with Chow, or I could go Cademon, or I could go with... yeah, I'm not sure. Let's just have a quick look at their team. Are they a rainbow team? So I'm checking their colours again. They aren't a rainbow team, but they do have 2 yellows. So it probably makes sense to take a purple in here. So purple-wise, well, the obvious choice for me then is probably going to be Tybertus. Jabbar might be a good option as well. I'm going to go with Jabbar because he does do damage, and it keeps wounding them, and as they can't heal themselves, anything which causes wounding over time will be quite effective. My main worry, as I say, is Colen there in the centre. He causes me some concerns. He's a good 4-star. His burning damage has cost me raids in the past when I'm doing sort of 4-star raiding. Normally in the actual game, most of the time I'm sort of raiding at sort of 5-star level, and then Aslar is his sort of big brother, as it were. Aslar is particularly tough. I'm glad to see him gone, actually. He was worrying me a little bit there. Not ashamed to admit it. Let's just go for... So as you can see, as ever, as I always say, if you're ever in any doubt, always just sort of try and work the screen. Just try and get small combos going, and sometimes they trigger a bigger combo. I don't know if there are players out there who can read the board well enough that they can sort of say, oh, you know, I can make a combo sort of 5 or 6 happen. I can't do that. I can get a combo of, you know, combo 2, combo 3, I can plan ahead. Much more than that, it's really just down to the luck of the board and what tiles come up. So I'm pretty comfortable sure that I've got this one now. It could still drag on a little bit. I think Jabbar's missed. No, Jabbar didn't miss, but still not done me much good. Wukong here. He's always a bit of a mixed blessing, I find, on raids, because then obviously a lot of my tiles missed, but then I'd also been blinded by Hu Tao. I don't know if they stack up or not on those ones. There we go. So Arthur is done. Another one for me. Top 5%. Doesn't mean anything at this point. So going into the next battle, Hu Tao in the middle. Kirill and Boltusk again. You know, I get the point of taking boosters, but their primary skill is healing. I would personally recommend you go more with snipers who have very fast mana and really sort of whomp them with the mana. They don't have a purple, which means I might leave Wukong this time. I may regret this. Wukong is obviously quite a solid guy. So I'm going 2 purples, Wilbur, 2 blues. Am I going to go 2 blues? Do I want to swap my blues for somebody else? Let's see. I might just swap in a green there. So it's a 2-1-1-1 team. Just trying to think about the colours of their team, their heroes, my strengths, etc., etc. Not too worried about Kirill and Wilbur. They won't sort of make a huge difference. Triton down here in the corner. Oh yeah, now Triton. Main damage is quite good. I mean, the healing bonus doesn't really help, but then it's like Jabbar's. My Jabbar has got a weakening thing which stops them stops healing from happening, which is no good because obviously nobody can heal. But either way, it's not. Remains to be seen where we're going here. I can see the move I'd like to make, but I can't get there. So we've got a few reds fired off anyway. Hu Tao. If Hu Tao would die, that would keep me a bit happier. Is he going to die? No, not in one go anyway. Let's see. Can I get rid of Hu Tao? Not sure here. It is a difficult one. It really is. I could hit him with a green. I might be best off leaving him to himself. If Hu Tao goes off, he's going to blind everyone on my team, which is extreme. But there we go. It is done. I had a horrible feeling it was going to be unavoidable. I don't know how much of Wilbur's special will hit. Their shield is down. Hu Tao is out, which is good. It could have done with being a second earlier, really, but I guess you can't. You can't have them all. Not liking this screen. Not liking the screen much at all. I'm going to go for this move, just to sort of keep things moving up the screen. A couple of purples here. Fire them off into old Cademon there. Cademon's gone off. Got a couple of heroes who are a bit weakened as well, which is not so good. It's one of those screens, isn't it? I just can't. I'm struggling to see decent moves on the screen. Plenty of pretty poor moves, no shortage of those. And that missed because of Hu Tao. See, this is just not really coming together at the minute. Triton's going to finish off Tibertus. I'm still not too worried about Kirill. I know I possibly should be because his special skill will hurt me, but he hasn't got. He'll boost their attack, and that's annoying. But it's just going to be too annoying. See, I wasn't too worried about him, and now I'm wondering if I should have been more worried. Well, we shall see. Who knows? It's still not over yet, this one. I would have been happier if I killed a couple more here. Can't have them all. I mean, it's looking pretty grim, actually. They're definitely doing quite a good job on the whole staying alive front, which is frustrating and very rude. Remains to be seen. I'm really having to work the screen hard on this one. I'm not saying that's always such a bad thing that you have to actually really think your way through a mission, but I prefer when I don't have to think quite this hard to scrape it through. I think it's going to be a win for me. It is going to be closer than I was comfortable with. Phew, yes, now I'm quite pleased with that one. Sometimes when the screen goes against you, you have to think that bit harder, and that was one where I really had to think. Not an easy one at all. Keeps me in top 5%. Well, again, like I say, means nothing at the moment. Next raid. Oh, here we go. It's Kholin again. Like I say, Kholin, definitely not one of my, definitely one I would be taking on this kind of thing. Got Sabina again, which I would view as a mistake. Gadaris is valuable, and they put him in the wrong place. He should be between the elf and the thing. Mind you, the elf is quite dangerous too. Oof, what am I gonna do here? Well, I think I'm gonna bring Wukong back in. I'm gonna go 2 reds because they have an awful lot of greens. I'm gonna go 2 blues because they also have quite a lot of what do we call it? They got a red tank, so they've gone for what I think is quite a sort of sensible combination there of tanks. You've got your red tank flanked by a green and lots of greens. So to stack against the tank with blue means I'll be weak against greens. But I'm kind of relying on special skills from my heroes. We've also got plenty of talent emblems there. I haven't got any on my 4 stars. A conscious decision on my part. I have been primarily focusing on upgrading my 3 stars for raid events, challenge events. Oh, blimey, what am I going to do here? Well, I'm going to do this. It's not an amazing move, I grant you. It's a slow starting move. Could do with more blues on the screen, really. Ideally, where I can actually do something with them. If Kholin goes off, I consider this raid lost, basically. Luckily, I'm pretty sure he isn't going to go off. The elf here worries me. I can't think of his name, so I'm going to call him Dobby. Buddy. He's Buddy. I wasn't far off with Dobby. That's reassuring. The elf does worry me. I will admit Dobby worries me. He's quite a powerful character. There's lots of there's a lot of green on the screen. Don't really need green or purple for that matter. Lots of green and purple, which would be great if I had any greens and purples. But as I don't, it is just well, a bit of kick in the teeth, really. So I've got 4 in a row blue here. That will give me some kind of advantage. I'm not too concerned about Sabina going off. She is, she's not a big threat to me. I'm not too worried about Sabina. Far more worried about Little John. So I'd rather he doesn't do anything. Sabina can go off. She's got nothing to debuff. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I would say. Don't bother taking a debuff on this kind of event. They really don't add anything to your a healer on this kind of event. They don't really add anything to your team. She is a debuffer, and she could have debuffed one of my special skills had I a special skill up. But as the computer, the AI is very random in how it selects its targets and everything else, and doesn't think ahead. I wouldn't recommend putting one on your defense team. Simple as that, really. Anyhow, so here we go. I think this is going to come together. Debuffed, but so what? Debuffs a defense and shared damage thing. Defense and shared damage are both quite useful, but they're not kind of deal breakers, really. There we are. Whew. Another one. I had to think a bit there. Not quite as hard as I had to think on the previous one, but definitely not easy. Still top 5%. And my last one. Oh, blimey. I'm not sure they've boosted up their Grim enough. Crikey, O'Reilly. Anyway, so we got Grim as their tank. They've gone Wilbur as well, which makes sense. So I'm definitely going to want debuffers here. And 2 greens, I think. So I'm going to go with Caedmon. Mr. Caedmon, thank you, Mr. Caedmon. And I need another green. Well, greens are tricky because I have no point taking Shrek, no point taking Melindor, and I don't want to go down for a, 3-star. So, very dangerous this. I'm going to go for Gidaris. Now, give me a reasonable amount of power in my attack. I will need to be a bit lucky. I don't know if it'll happen. Who knows? Just occasionally it's worth just checking you've put your best troops in, because when you swap your heroes around, sometimes you do end up with the worst troops. So just remember to do that from time to time. Here we go. Thomas Man. I think I've fought him before at some point. Probably not. Maybe not on a raid tournament. Who knows? I fought most people at some point. There we go. Grim. Grim is quite a pain. He's a dangerous character. Could do quite a lot of damage if he goes off, when he goes off. Will lower my shields, which is bad. Never nice to have your shield down. They also have Wilbur, very noticeably. Wilbur is a very good hero for this kind of thing, without doubt. I do very much view, Rigard as being a waste of a hero that he's made here. Rigard can't really do... Well, he will remove the shield down, in fairness. He will reduce the shield down. So now it all swaps back. It's their turn to have the shield up, because their Wilbur has gone off. My Gidaris can get rid of... Sorry. My Caedmon can get rid of his bonus, and then give me a bit of swapsies, I think, because I suspect this will give me enough mana to set off... No, not quite enough mana to set off my guy. Still got my shield down and my heroes linked, but at least their shields are... they're working together. I'm going to go for this blue combo here. Oh, they all missed. I hate it when Wukong does that, when everybody misses. Really frustrating. I think Rigard will be the next to go on their team. Not sure who's going to be next to go on mine. It's going to be close. I would say that I'm on the balance probability I'm going to win this one. Doesn't always follow. And there we go. Whew. There we are. So that was actually pretty successful. 5 for 5. You can see, as I say, the value of actually paying attention to what the tournament asks you to do, which is not to take healers. It's not going to get you very far. Top 1%. Your attacks this tournament 5. Doubt if my defense has been tested yet. No. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. I am 1973, which I couldn't have done any better. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Top 1%. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But first day, 5 for 5. Let's see if I can keep that record going for any more of the tournament. Take care. Peace out. Farmer Ben signing off.